Hey guys, this is my second video. The first one went over really well, which I was really happy about. I think for the most part, people would just much rather watch a video than read a million paragraphs, and it's a lot easier for me too. I like it a lot. So I'll probably continue with the videos. Today I wanted to talk about very basic nutrition. If you're really familiar with nutrition, this is going to be under your level. This is for everybody else who is basically looking for what they can do nutrition-wise on an everyday basis to just feel better and be more healthy. Nothing complicated, no food science lesson, no anatomy lesson, just very basic so everybody can understand it. And at the end of the day, I think this is what everybody's looking for because so many people will listen to fitness professionals or doctors or whoever it may be talking about nutrition, and they walk away from it and think to themselves, what the heck did that person just say? And I think that scares a lot of people away from trying to live healthy. It can be a bit overwhelming, and some people just they think to themselves, well, how can I even get started? Because they don't even understand it. And I think just most people want to know, okay, explain to me on a very simple level what I can do, and that's what I want to do, because that's what everybody wants. So without complicating things, this is what I would suggest for somebody who is really just looking to be healthier on an everyday level without altering their lives completely, without having to spend a tremendous amount of time doing all these things. This is what I would suggest, and this is solely focusing on nutrition. I'll do more on exercise, but this is going to be just solely for nutrition. I would say first, you have to have well balanced meals. That's number one. You want your certain your quantity has to be correct, but first we'll focus on quality here. You have your macronutrients, which are for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to focus on. There's 4. Alcohol is one of them, but for this video, I'm only going to focus on your proteins, your fats, and your carbohydrates. Those are your macronutrients. You have micronutrients, which are vitamins and minerals. Fiber is one I really focus on. But if you're balancing your meals, you should be getting, appropriate amounts of macro and micros without really having to supplement. I get a lot of people asking me about supplements all the time. Supplements are exactly what they sound like, supplementing your diet. If you eat a very good, well-balanced diet, there isn't much need for that. And there are certain supplements that I would say most people could benefit from. But like I said, let's keep it basic. Just focus on first and foremost getting well-balanced quality foods in every single day. So this is what happens. A lot of people won't get enough protein in during the day, and that's very, very important. And I see a lot of people will come to me and they'll show me what they're eating throughout the day, and a lot of people will keep their protein, and not intentionally, but all their protein will come at night from meat, chicken, steak, whatever. Some people, will get some in the morning, some throughout the day, but that's really what the focus should be, is getting in your proteins, your fats, and your carbohydrates throughout the day, evenly distributing it, instead of having just, really high carbohydrates counts in your breakfast and your lunch, and then, just getting your protein in for dinner. Really what we want to do is balance that out. So what I would suggest first and foremost is concentrating on, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, getting in carbohydrates, fats, and proteins for every meal. So for instance, for breakfast, maybe you're going to do egg whites and you're going to hit your protein. Maybe you're going to do some oatmeal and that hits your carbohydrates. And maybe you're going to do some natural peanut butter and that hits your fats. Simple as that. And there are a ton of other options. Maybe you do a whole wheat English muffin, you get your carbs. Maybe you do, you put some peanut butter on that, you get your fats. And you do a protein shake on the side, and you get your protein. Maybe you want to do some Greek yogurt, and you hit some of your carbohydrates. It's a good protein source, or cottage cheese. And maybe a rice cake with that. And you know what? At whatever the combinations can be, it's really limitless. But focus on getting your fats, your proteins, and your carbohydrates. Proteins and fats are going to keep you fuller a little bit longer than carbohydrates. And I'll see a lot of people that only eat fruit for breakfast a lot of times. That's very common, and they're very hungry early on. But I can guarantee you, if you add some fats and some more protein to that, you probably will be fuller a little bit longer. Then for lunch, let's do the same thing. Let's just break it down. Maybe you're going to do let's say, some grilled chicken. You got your protein. You're going to put it in a whole grain wrap. You got some carbohydrates, maybe with some veggies. You get some fibrous carbs in there. And, maybe you're going to put a little bit of, let's see, or maybe you'll saute some vegetables, put a little bit of oil in it, coconut oil, vegetable oil, get some fat in there, something of that nature. Dinner, you're going to do a potato, carbohydrates. You're going to do, some fish, maybe some salmon, which hits your protein and your fats. And there you go. There you have it. So that's kind of what I would say. If you're that type of person that does, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which I would certainly suggest, each meal hit your carbs, fats, protein. Focus on that first and foremost. Now, you do want to make sure you're getting enough fiber in during the day. That's very important. It's great for digestion. Another thing is, a lot of people worry about sugar, and fiber does a good job of kind of balancing that sugar out so it doesn't spike your insulin so much. So that's a very important role of fiber as well. Fiber can come from vegetables, fruits, whole grains, lentils, beans, that type of stuff. And just Google. It's very easy to Google, optimal protein, fats, carbs, fiber sources. You can get a lot of ideas online. Google works wonders. So just do that, and then try and balance your meals that way. So that hits your quality. The next thing is quantity. And for those of you that want to stop there, if that's enough for you, just start with that. And that might be enough for some people. It's just maybe incorporating more protein in for breakfast and lunch. Just start there. For those of you that want to take it a step further, next we have to look at quantity. So this is portion control, also known as portion control. What you have to do is you have to figure out your calorie intake and what your maintenance level is, what your gaining level is, and what calorie range you're going to lose on. That comes from trial and error. You can certainly find a calculator online that will do it for you. You can find an educated coach who will probably be able to help you very much, but at the end of the day, only you are really going to know, and that's through trial and error. You're not going to be able to guess. So if you really want to take the time to know your body, you're going to have to track. And it doesn't have to be for too long a period of time, maybe 3-4 days. Write down everything you eat, figure out the macronutrients, how many proteins, carbs, fats you're getting, your calorie total, and then see on average how much you're consuming a day and go from there. Obviously, if you want to lose weight, then you're going to have to cut that calorie range. If you want to gain, you're going to have to bring it up. And if you like where you're at and you want to then you want to stay at that calorie level. Then you have to break it down into ratios. So say you have 17,000 calories. Then you have to get your macronutrient ratios. Maybe you want to get 35% of your calories from protein, 40 from carbs, and 25 from fats. This is how you do it. Take 1,700 calories. Let's start with protein. You want to get 35% from protein, with your calories from protein. Multiply 1,700 by 0.35. You get your number. Divide that number by 4. And you will get the grams of protein that you should be having every single day. You divide it by 4 because there are 4 calories per every gram of protein. You'll do the same exact thing for carbs. So you want to get 40% of your calories from carbs. Multiply 1,700 by 0.4. You get your number, divide it by 4. there are 4 calories per gram of carbohydrates. Boom, you have your carbohydrate number. Lastly, you want to get 25% of your calories from fats. Multiply 1700 times 0.25. Get your number. You want to divide fats by 9. There are 9 calories per gram of fat. Boom, get your number. Now you have your ideal numbers for fat, protein, and carbs. I'm not saying 40% carbs, 35% protein, 25% fats is going to be best for you. That's trial and error again. You have to figure that out. I would suggest at least getting 1 gram of protein per day of your ideal weight. So if you want to be 120 grams, I would at least try and get in 120 grams of protein a day. And a lot of people will even do anywhere between 1 gram to 1.5 grams of their ideal body weight per day of protein. So start with that, and then you can go carbs and fats, figure those ratios out from there. So that's how you would do it. And then you would just come up with your food sources, and you'd have to know how many calories are, how many grams of fats, proteins, and carbs are in each food you're eating. And then you put, you kind of make a plan to hit those numbers. Really easy ways to track. My favorite is MyFitnessPal. You can get it right on your phone. It's free. You just put what you're eating in there, and it does all the math for you. Again, tracking is it is a little bit time consuming. You have to put effort in, but if you're very serious about getting fit and you really want to see some significant changes, this is something that's pretty necessary. After a while, you'll get really used to it. You'll know what's going on in your body. You'll know what your body reacts well to. You'll get a better feel of eyeballing things, and then maybe you won't have to track. I don't think tracking for the rest of your life is going to be something that you're necessarily going to want to do or be able to do. But just for a short period of time until you're used to it, that's what you're going to have to do. So hopefully that helped explain it a little bit. I know I went through it a little fast, and I tried to keep it basic. If it's not, just let me know, and I'll do another video. I'll answer any questions. But again, I was just trying to break it down at a very basic level, and you don't have to do all of this at once. You can just take little things here and there and implement them to help. But let me know if this helps you or if you have any other questions. Thanks.